Hello there. Thank you for contacting Solar Smart India. I'm Surya, your solar assistant. How can I help you with your solar panel queries today?
Hi Surya, I would like to know how net metering works.
That's a great question. Net metering is a billing mechanism that credits solar energy system owners for the electricity they add to the grid. When your solar panels produce more electricity than you consume, the excess power is sent back to the grid, and you receive credits on your electricity bill. Conversely, when your consumption exceeds your solar production, you draw power from the grid and use those accumulated credits.
Hello there and welcome back. I have often wondered how hard it could be to create a curated voice agent who would specialize in a specific area. So, say you have a website with some facts on it, and I just want my voice agent to act based on that facts. So, that would essentially act as a knowledge base to that voice agent. The answer, it seems, it's quite easy. I'll be creating a voice agent using 11 Labs and I'll be pointing it to a facts section of a website. It does not matter which website it is. In this case, I'll just choose a solar panel installation website which has quite uh, detailed facts there. So, without much ado, let's get right into it. As you can see, I am on the home page of solarsmart.co.in and I'm in the facts section there. And you have three categories of facts. I just selected the all facts there, and it essentially details on how you can install solar panels, what is the price, how much electricity does it produce, and all sorts of queries a potential customer might have. So it's quite neatly stacked, and this is what we'll be using to create our voice agent. I have now moved on to the 11 Labs homepage there. You need to create an account there. So you can create a free account if you wanted, or you could go for the startup pack, or you could go for the creator pack. If you just go to the subscriptions page there, right, you can see you have the free pack. You have around 10k credits per month, which I believe will work quite as well. Some things that it does not have are things like voice duplication, which we anyway will not be using. I am on the starter plan, right? And I'm based in India. That's why the amount is shown in rupees. If you're located somewhere else, this will differ, right? And I think this is the most popular subscription plan, the creator plan. So just choose your plan based on what you want to do. For what we are trying to do, the free plan should be more than enough. After you've created an account, you'll be shown with similar sort of dashboard here. What you have to do is you have to go to your left hand side panel, and here on the drop down choose 11 agents, right? It's not 11 creative or 11 API, which have entirely different functions, but 11 agents because we are going to create an agent. Once you are in that page, it will show you a dashboard of your agent calls, statistics about that. Just ignore it. Go to the agents page here, right, and you can see any agents that you have created in the past. You can see I've already created one agent called Nathan. Now let's ignore that for the time being. So I'll just go and click on new agent. All right, that's all I need to do. And I'll just say, is this a personal assistant or is this a business agent? I'll say this is a business agent. And then it shows me a panel where I have to select what industry is your business in. I do not think there's something like solar panels, so I'll just choose other, and I'll just say this as a solar panel installation. Okay, and I'll just add this industry there, which brings me to the next page, which is the use case. So how do you want your agent to behave? Essentially, is it for customer support? Is it outbound sales? Is it learning and development? Is it answering service? I would just say it is customer support. Okay, and now you have a option of creating a knowledge base. You could potentially create the knowledge base beforehand, but I wanted to show you this method whereby you create it on the fly, and because that's quite easy, right? And it's got quite intuitive. So all you need to do is you just need to click on the add there, and you can just say add URL, right? And you can just give the URL you want the knowledge base to point to. So let's go back to our fact section in the solarsmart.co.in website there. Let me just copy that here, and I'll move back into my 11 labs add URL page, right? And I'll just say add URL. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention is that you could add settings, or you could configure it so that it auto refreshes. So for example, if I just let me add this again, okay, and I'll show you what I mean. So if I add this URL, right, it gives me an option of this toggle button here. So if I turn this on and if I give the URL here, right, it auto refreshes and it scrapes for new content every 7 days, which is something you would probably want. Otherwise, your facts might get stale. So I'm not going to do that since I've already added the URL. Let's not duplicate it. But in a real life scenario, you would definitely want it to be refreshed every 7 days at least. Let me click on continue. Yeah, agent name Surya is fine. Website optional. This will probably be blank in your case. Make sure you copy paste the URL again in this section here. And the reason why I say that you need to do this is because the system prompt, which controls the agent behavior, will be created based on what you provide here. So if you have provided a URL here, the AI agent creation or whatever it is that 11 Labs uses, okay, is intelligent enough to understand, right, how the agent should behave, and it will create the system prompt accordingly. So make sure you have the URL in this section also. Do not leave it blank, okay? Right, what is your main goal? I'll just say help resolve customer queries regarding solar panels. Okay, yeah, nah, that's fine. Okay, if you wanted, you could just do a chat only, essentially type in, which is not what we are going to do. We want it to be a voice agent. Okay, and now I'll just click on create agent. It took more than a minute there to create the agent, but now you see what I had just mentioned maybe a minute ago, right? The system prompt, right? I'll just move it to Surya. Okay, it created at Sunny because I had created an agent named Sunny earlier. It very intelligently scrape the facts section to understand what sort of agent needs to be created here. So you can see it says you are Surya, a friendly, knowledgeable, and patient customer support specialist for Solar Smart. Remember, this is not something we had provided. It is something that the AI agent created tool went ahead and it looked into the website facts sections and decided based on the inputs that we gave it, this is how the agent should behave. Okay, so you're dedicated to helping customers understand the benefits and practicalities of solar energy, environment, tone, Yeah, does this make sense? So it has quite a few things. I'm not going to go through everything, but in your case, just go through this, right? And here I'll just say Surya. It's just picking these things up from the cache, guys. You can create this message. Usually this will be blank. The first time you create it, you can give whatever starting message you want. Just make sure you have clicked on the interruptible toggle buttons. So this will allow the users to interrupt the agent while the first message is being delivered, right? Otherwise, whatever you say is not going to register while it is delivering its first message. So let's make it creatable. The next thing you need to do is you need to select a voice, and here by default the voice that has come up is Eric, smooth, trustworthy. If you wanted some other voices there, right, you could just click on the right hand arrow. It will expand this pane here. If you click on it again, you have quite a few voices you could search for. Okay, let us try Lauren. Okay, so I've selected Lauren. Now the other things, TTS, which is text to speech model family, leave it at V3 conversational alpha. Leave these things as default. If you wanted, you could add some tags. So I could just say Indian accent, for example. Okay, and I could just say, give this short description about when to use that accent and things like. So you can go ahead and remove my video here, right, and just select any tags that you want added. So I would just say, yeah, patient. I want it to be patient. Chuckles. Yep, you can add a chuckle. French accent is their default. If you wanted a French sounding South gentleman, you could go for that. I want it to be enthusiastic. Yep, well, that should do it. And the voice settings are not customizable for V3 models. So this is the latest conversational model. So it's not customizable essentially, which is fine for our case. Right. The next thing if you wanted, you could add an additional voice. Now, when would you add an additional voice? So say for example, the language here is chosen as English default. You could add other languages. For example, you could add something like Chinese, Czech, Dutch. I'm not going to do that. So if you added other languages, you'd probably need to add another additional voice to cater for that language there. Otherwise, it might sound weird, right? So that's the use case there. You can have an additional voice, but then you would need to configure your workflow so that the agent understands when it should use which voice. Let's leave it for the default for now. This is more than good for us. Righty. Now what do we do? Right. The next thing we do is we do publish. Yeah, I made some changes in between. It seems good. And that's it. So our solar agent is ready. So let's do a preview. And now we'll start the preview. Okay, but before that I need to see which question I'm going to ask it. So let's choose something. Yeah, let me choose what is net metering. This is a thing that's happening in India right now. So they have changed the way the billing occurs. They have changed it to net metering, and lots of customers have quite a few queries regarding what it is all about. So let's ask it what is net metering. Okay, let me start my agent, and fingers crossed it should work.
Hello there. Thank you for calling Solar Smart. My name is Surya and I'm here to help you with any questions you have about solar energy. How can I assist you today?
Hi Surya, I want to understand how net metering works.
That's a great question. Net metering is a billing mechanism that credits solar energy system owners for the electricity they add to the grid. When your solar panels produce more electricity than your home consumes, the excess power is sent back to the grid and you receive credits for it. Conversely, when your home needs more electricity than your panels are generating, you draw power from the grid and your credits help offset those costs. Does that make sense so far?
Absolutely. So how many units does the solar panel produce?
The number of units a solar panel produces can vary quite a bit. It depends on factors like the size of your solar system, the amount of sunlight your roof receives, and the efficiency of the panels themselves. To give you a more accurate estimate, we would typically need to assess your specific location and energy needs.
So I would like to know how much a 3 kilowatt panel, how much energy it produces.
A 3 kilowatt solar panel system can typically produce anywhere from 12 to 15 units of electricity per day, on average. This can fluctuate based on the weather, the time of year, and the amount of direct sunlight your panels receive. For a precise estimate tailored to your home, a site assessment would be very helpful.
Thank you, Surya. That would be all.
You're most welcome. I'm glad I could help you understand more about solar panel production. Thank you for calling Solar Smart, and have a wonderful day.
How brilliant is that? Isn't it? And just like that, you have created your specialized and curated voice agent in a matter of minutes. That's brilliant. Now, I know that most of you would have a small doubt in your minds that how would you actually connect your voice agent to, say, a telephone number? Because remember, your customer is not going to call your system in which your live agent is hosted. They would essentially be calling a toll free telephone number, for example. The way you could do it is you could import the phone number using something like Twilio, but that discussion is for another demo, another session, another day, right? For today, this is all I have. I hope you enjoyed the session. So till we meet again, adios.